Hi, welcome back to Dreaming of Chess Mastery. Well, I started making these videos again, and no sooner did I started than I stopped. In fairness, it's been a very busy couple of weeks. When I'm not desperately trying to improve my chess, I'm a practicing artist, a sculptor. And over the last couple of months, I have opened an art gallery, and that has taken up a lot of time and energy. And I've played a little bit of chess, but study really has taken a backseat. But here we are. September is underway, and it's time to get back into a serious effort at improving my chess. And how do we go about doing that? I think the key, as has been discussed by many people, and certainly I've mentioned it on this channel, the key is to do things that are active. Playing games, slower games, analysing, solving puzzles, stuff like that. I mean, none of that is new. But we know about it, do we do it? And that is the real problem. It's a bit like the pursuit of fitness. Well, you know you need to get down to gym or put on your trainers and go for a jog. But do you? Building up the habit is hard. And I had a spell where, having returned to chess in my 50s, I had a spell where I really was working quite hard. And then once again, life got in the way. And that's fine, because chess ultimately for me is fun. It's not my bread and butter. But I am still serious about improving. There's an itch that needs to be scratched. And I want to see what is possible even now in my late 50s. And something came out recently that caught my eye, and I'm really going to double down on this. Woodpecker Method 2. Axel Smith has outdone himself after 5 years, the enormously successful Woodpecker Method. And if you're not familiar with it, it's essentially a process of spaced repetition where you do a cycle of problems over a 4-week period, and then you repeat the cycle trying to halve the time that you spent. And a lot's been spoken about it. Not all of it is, not every critic, everybody is convinced that this actually is the best way of going about things. One of the common criticisms is, well, couldn't you just do cycles of problems, but do new problems? And it's a valid sort of argument, although I must say, drawing on my time as a maths teacher, 25 years, teaching high school mathematics, there was never a question that when we had students preparing for an exam, that we said to them, well, don't redo the exercises that you did earlier in the term. I mean, that would be ridiculous, because quite frankly, something that you did a month ago, well, you've forgotten the details. You may have a vague memory, and if you can remember it really, really clearly, well, that's proof that the technique, the pattern, is well bedded in. And I think the same is true with the Woodpecker Method. I never finished the tactical puzzles. I did 549 in my first crack at it. And the first round, the first 4-week cycle, I suppose I got about, according to his point scoring method, and I was pretty diligent and painstaking about how I marked myself. I suppose I scored about in the mid 60%. And on the second round, I was scoring in the 80s, and so my percentage improved and the time came down. So I have a feeling that redoing the cycles really is not a problem. The idea that, well, I've already seen the problem, so I'll just be remembering them. In itself, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But you don't. You remember elements of them. They look familiar. But then in a lot of chess positions, it looks sort of familiar. I have a feeling that there is a good move there. I'm just not sure what it is. And you sort of piece things together with limited information or fuzzy ideas. And I think solving puzzles in the Woodpecker method is a bit like that. You remember the problem, and then you have to kind of use your memory as a sort of scaffolding to find the solution. And eventually the solution is something that you see with total clarity. Now, that's a bit of a long-winded description of the Woodpecker method, but I suppose it's necessary if you somehow, as an adult improver, have never come across it. But it just got better because Axel Smith has released the Woodpecker method volume 2. This time it's positional puzzles. And I'm really excited about that. I've bought the book on forward chess, and I'm going to see how that works. The main attraction is that it came out earlier on forward chess, before a course on Chessable, and frankly buying the book, a physical copy, is very difficult where I live. I really don't trust the post. Getting to this little backwater in the rural northeast of Brazil. So forward chess it is, and forward chess has quite a nice interactive facility, so I think it'll be a good way of solving the puzzles. And I am going to start today. That's my mission. September is underway, and I'm going to give my return to serious study, well, let's see if it sticks. I think it will. And I think having a new shiny toy to play with, I know that new material really isn't the be-all and end-all, that I probably have more than enough stuff on my bookshelves to keep me going for a lifetime. But sometimes it's getting something new is just the sort of inspiration to get over that difficult first few days of study, and then let's see where it goes from there. I've looked at the first few puzzles, and I think it looks very promising. And I don't think there's a great deal of stuff out there. There are a lot of books that deal with positional exercises, strategic exercises, but they are more calculation and less pattern recognition. They strike me that they're probably more the sort of puzzles that you need to spend 10-15 minutes pondering over, rather than Woodpecker 2, which at first glance, well, obviously, let's see how the 1,000 problems pan out. At first glance, it looks like this is, can you intuitively spot the right idea? So I'm going to give it a go today, and rather than making long films once a week, I'm going to try and make, starting today, shorter films regularly. And eventually, I'd also like to work out how to take this from being sort of philosophizing in my garden and start building in some more content, actual boards with pieces that are flying around, as you might find on so many other channels. But there we are. Let's see if I can actually run with this momentum and stick to my study plans, and also make a concerted effort to bed in this channel. So that's it for this week. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you watch this, I would be monumentally grateful if you left a copy and subscribed. I know every YouTube creator says the same old spiel, but you know, in my case, it's not so much that I think I'm going to get to some sort of magic number where I can start monetizing the channel, but I really want to see if this is a viable method of kind of building up a community, and subscribing and commenting would be quite encouraging. So that's it. Enjoy your chess, and until the next video, I'm not going to say next week, because I hope the next video will be, you know, tomorrow or a few days' time. Till the next video, ciao.